Hi. I want to talk a little bit about chemistry versus chemical reaction. When we see a relationship that is successful, many times the people in it have just a good chemistry together. There's no describing it, there's no explaining it, there's no accounting for it. Some people just have a chemistry together and it works. And it is fabulous when you find that with somebody, yes? Okay. The narcissist is counting on you confusing the chemical reaction you have to their love bombing you with that kind of chemistry. There's all kinds of science that you can look up about dopamine and endorphins and what happens in the brain when they go through this love bombing with you, and you are made to feel safe, and you are made to feel like you are the only person in the world, and you are made to feel like there is not another person in the world. They've never been in love before, ever in their lives. You are it. Then they pull the rug out. Pull the rug, right? So you get used to all of that, and there is a chemical reaction that happens when they make you feel all those things. The thing is, that was on purpose. They manufactured those feelings. They mirrored your likes. They were there for you. They catered to you. They nurtured you and courted you in a way to make you feel that way so that you would then be under their control. When you go to leave a narcissist, oftentimes you'll hear people say, but you don't understand the chemistry we have. You just don't get it. You weren't there. No one can make me feel like they make me feel. I've never felt that way in my life. I'll never find it again. It was all based on lies. It wasn't real. It was fake. It was with a fake person. They faked it. And it did cause a chemical reaction in you to hear all those things. That's why it's so dangerous. It did cause dopamine levels and endorphins to rush and make you feel all those things. It's chemistry, but not the chemistry, the inexplicable chemistry of people that fall in love. You're mistaking the chemical reaction that they purposefully caused in your brain so that they can elicit control over you for chemistry that you search for and that you hear about in books and movies. Because chemistry does exist between people. That's real. We all know couples that they're just like they met and that was it, and boom, they're together 50 years later and they're happy and they've never been untrue to each other. And there are famous examples, there are literary examples, there are examples. It does happen. But when you have somebody that manufactured the chemical reaction in your brain, they're doing that to manipulate you into thinking that it is chemistry. You snap out of it. You have to snap out of it. Chemical reaction is not the same as chemistry. Now that's not to say somebody that has chemistry didn't have those chemical reactions. Of course they did. Dopamine and endorphins are real things. Those are real things. And of course they happen to people that are really in love. Of course they do. But it wasn't based on fake. It was based on the real person, and they really met somebody that they really did love, and the person they met really did love them, and they were showing them their authentic self, right? When you have somebody that doesn't show you their authentic self, it's based on lies. And you can tell because they're a different person regardless of who's around. I mean, depending on who's around, right? Like, I'm this person. This person that you see, this is the person that my daughter gets, my mother gets, your parents would get, an ex-teacher would get, a professor from college. I'm the same exact person with anybody that I am. The narcissist is a different person depending on who's around. So in the beginning stages, they were this fake person to cause you to feel all of these things so that later they can depend on that, and you will confuse it. You'll say, but it was chemistry. It wasn't chemistry. It wasn't chemistry. It was a chemical reaction but it wasn't chemistry. At least this is what I've surmised, or how I've come to think of it and how to explain it to you. Because I don't want to not believe in chemistry. It can happen. We've all had relationships where we're just, and it maybe wasn't with a narcissist, where you're just like, wow, we just had chemistry. And you might have nothing else, and it might not have lasted for other reasons, but you had good chemistry. You laughed. You finished each other's sentences. You know, things were good. It might not have lasted, like I said, but it's good chemistry. Humans, friends, you can have good chemistry with one friend better than another. That's a real thing. But the chemical reaction, I warn you to mistaken that for chemistry. It is not the same thing. It was manufactured by the narcissist just in order to have you seek it for the rest of the relationship. They want you running after it. They manufactured it on purpose. They laid it on thick on purpose so that you can then chase it for the remainder of your time with them. That keeps you bonded to them. That keeps you addicted to them. The feeling you had with them is addictive. Dopamine and endorphins, that's an addiction. Runners end up running and running and running miles. It's an addiction. They get endorphins from that. So I caution you to mistaken it for chemistry. Please be on the lookout for the difference and just give it some thought and say to yourself, you know, I think she might be right. Chemical reactions are very real. It's science, and they use it to manipulate you. So just don't mistaken it for chemistry, okay? Okay, be strong.